Hello. Hi.
What up?
How's it going?
Hello, boys.
Howdy, sailor.
Wait, what is that? What is hello, boys?
I don't know. I'm just being
It sounds like something.
That's an old thing.
It kind of sounds like the chief from Carmen Sandiego.
No.
Is it not?
I never watched Carmen Sandiego, so it might be, but it's not what I was. It's just an old school. Hello, boys, like an old 1940s,
Like a flapper?
yeah, like a flapper girl, like doing a USO show for the troops.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, whatever. That's what I was envisioning when I did that impression.
So we're back. It's another week.
It
with the
is.
dudes. The dog is with us, hiding under the table because he is scared of the thunder.
There's a lot of thunder going on outside.
Feel the thunder. Feel the thunder. I fucking hate that song.
And the thunder and the lightning.
I fucking hate that song.
I don't think I know what that song is.
It's the Imagine. Here's my fat dick and my ball sack. Spread my cheeks and put your thumb inside my butt crack. You never heard that song before?
Nope.
Yeah, it's what is Imagine
It's
Dragons?
Imagine Dragons.
Oh, that one.
I literally can't tell the difference between them and Maroon 5.
Yeah. They're the band that did the You Make Me Up, Make Me Up,
Didn't they also do I'm waking up to ash and dust?
I think so,
I
yeah.
wipe my ass and I slap my nuts.
something, yeah.
I'm breathing in my genitals. So
That's funny. Yeah, right. So we're back. It's another thing.
yeah,
It's still this thing.
it's still this thing. We're
This thing.
what? Well, any new business? Any new dude
I don't
business?
know. Honestly, I don't think so.
The Stanley Cup
really.
Finals going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Game 1.
Hockey time.
Yeah, Betty.
Game 1, Bruins
Yes.
big
Yeah.
win, 4-2.
Big win. Yeah, four goals unanswered. The 2019 Stanley Cup champion Boston Bruins had one period of rustiness after the rest and then got over that shit real quick.
Yeah.
And just fucking turned it loose.
It was a good showing.
My favorite is still that fucking crazy hit.
Torrey Krug.
Yeah, Torrey Krug
Just like flying down the ice.
getting held on the ice for like way too goddamn long, like
Yeah.
30 seconds, had his helmet knocked off, and then gets up and skates down with a vengeance and levels the first blue that he sees.
Yeah.
I thought it was the same guy.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it was the same guy.
Oh, was
same
it
guy.
even better?
I
I
forget.
didn't even realize
Well, it's
that.
because he's got him held down and he's like got his hands around his neck
Yeah.
more or less and literally rips his helmet off and
Yeah.
in an attempt to like wrestle him on the ice.
Yeah, good, solid, clean hit.
Yeah.
He
An illegal hit.
Had the puck, had his head up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Didn't leave his feet until after he leveled his check. It was perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, that might be one
couldn't-
of my favorite things I've ever seen.
couldn't do it. Can't do a big check like that any better.
Yeah, right. God, just the speed. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone fly into frame that fast ever.
Yeah, there's that's got to go on with my list of I'm going to say that's top 3 favorite hockey hits. I've seen some great hockey hits, but
Yeah.
Yeah, the entire room of us just went all at the same time.
and all of Boston, it was like if you watch it back, it's a delayed reaction from the fans because they see it happen, like, and then there's a half-second pause. The whole arena's like, and then they all erupt. It's just-
Yeah. I got to go back and find that. I got to go back and see that video. I was hoping NHL was going to post it on their Twitter, but apparently not.
no, they put it on their YouTube channel though. So.
Oh, good. Good.
I'm surprised they posted it at all. It seems like the kind of thing they wouldn't want to bank on, like
Yeah.
like maybe
Hey,
maybe that doesn't go on their official highlight reel.
no.
They know it's still a big draw.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, that's half the fun. I still think the RJ Umberger hit, the one that Brian Campbell delivered to RJ
Yeah.
Umberger is my favorite.
Is that the one I think where we watched that after the game where the
Yeah.
dude's like basically lights out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
made better by the fantastic Rick Genere call. Rick Genere is the head commentator for Buffalo.
Yeah,
the play-by-play.
he's still at it, man.
Oh yeah, he's still at it. He's still great.
He's old as shit, but he's still going.
It's the call where they're like he's like doing the play-by-play, and then he goes, "Oh, what a hit by Campbell! Holy mackerel!" It's just the guttural as he like roars it into the. It's so good. And then the Milan Lucic hit where he shattered the glass at TD Garden.
Oh, yeah.
I got to watch that live. That was fucking awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Milan Lucic broke 3 panes of glass at his tenure in Boston, and that was maybe the most vicious because he just comes out of nowhere, and the guy's bracing himself because he knows he's about to take a shot, and Lucic just fucking puts him right through the glass in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I didn't have the good fortune to see it live, but I've seen that clip a bunch.
I'm just glad that Stanley Cup is back. This is a great time of the year.
Best
It
time
really
to watch
is.
hockey.
So much
You ever
fun.
want to get into hockey? Just start watching at playoff time.
Yeah.
It's just the perfect time to get into the sport.
Just people leaving absolutely everything on the ice, which is in and of itself exciting.
It's what you want.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I mean, what else is going on?
Well, I guess it's worth noting that we were supposed to have a guest on this episode.
That's right.
Jake, my buddy Jake from work, was going to come on and guest host.
Yeah.
And his dad had a heart attack. So
Yeah, awful, right?
yeah, I hope he doesn't mind that I just like revealed that information. But I think everybody who listens to this basically knows that by now.
Yeah, right.
So we want to extend a heartfelt get well to his dad.
Yeah, seriously.
and
Absolutely.
throw our well wishes out to him and everybody there because
that sucks. That's horrible.
you guys know I went through dad heart attackville.
Dad heart attack.
Yeah, a couple years ago when dad was in California, and there is nothing scarier than thinking your dad is gonna die. So it's just awful, and I understand how it feels, and I hope he gets some rest, and I hope his dad does good. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll see him when we see him, basically.
Yeah. So
I guess seeing no other business, it's time to talk about why we're fucked.
Yeah.
So Ben, why don't you tell me why we're fucked?
Okay. I thought you were gonna fake me out there.
I telegraphed the psych out.
Yeah. So we're fucked, I guess, because you know what? I don't feel especially fucked again this week.
Yeah,
it's okay. That's a good thing, man.
That's good. Well, you also just recently got back on medication and stuff, so it's a pretty good time to not feel fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I still get my anxious days. This is day number 2 of being sober, which is usually the hardest day for me. And then by the time I get to day 3, it's usually a little easier.
Yeah. I think it's important to detox in general.
Yeah.
You know?
Alcohol takes a full 3 days to leave your system entirely.
Yeah.
The effects of intoxication obviously don't last that long, but you'll still have like a blood alcohol content for up to 72 hours after you drink.
Which also means it's still doing things like fucking with your sleep, I imagine, right?
Yes.
Sure.
You know, like all the basic
pressure,
stuff you
sleep,
need to feel good.
Yeah.
Well, and that was a big reason you got back on it, right? Because you were just like I know the feeling. You're just self-medicating.
Yes.
It wasn't great.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and and I just I was very interested in being off of it. My generally when I play
A little salute. General Lee.
General Lee when I
generally when I'm sober and I sit down to do the things I like to do, I'm usually better at them.
Yeah. It's funny how that works.
Right. Yeah, which yeah, duh. But
But the thing is, this must sound like so crazy to people who don't drink at all.
Yeah.
But it's like that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, right.
yeah,
It's a little small realization to be like, wait, when I don't drink, I'm better.
Wow,
at
I'm actually
stuff.
good at this.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Right, yeah.
I'm not bumbling and pissed off that I'm bumbling.
it's like it's learning to get the joy of those things from a different source.
Yeah.
Whereas I would ordinarily be doing those things while drinking.
Yeah.
And getting the enjoyment from just drinking and not caring. Now getting the enjoyment from seeing how much better I am at these things.
And then, that's a classic. I've said this to you many times. You're not an alcoholic. I think you have like the rest of us. I think you have a self-control problem,
Right.
More than you have an alcohol problem. And but that is like a classic recovery thing. Is like getting used to doing the things that sober people do, which is just the things that you normally do, but like enjoying them without having to be sauced 24/7 to do that.
Yeah.
I find one of my primary drivers for how much I drink is how bored I am.
Yeah, for sure.
That's also a big thing.
Same thing, but with how I eat.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Like that's my biggest thing.
Like if I'm sitting in my house for any longer than 15 minutes and don't know what to do with myself, I'm making a sandwich or I'm pouring a beer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Well, that's my thing.
That's not great.
I don't. This is Tuesday, so this is my drinking day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I don't really. I'll have a beer after work every once in a while, but it's not like I'm going out of my way to get hammered. I go for food, so I understand that vice.
Yeah.
Just from the opposite side.
I'll get cravings for milk when I don't drink.
Yeah.
I'll just like every half hour or so I'll get up, pour myself a glass of milk, chug it, and then go back to my computer.
There's worse things to have a craving.
You ever try to chocolate milk that?
Oh, yeah.
Keep chocolate and milk around?
You ever put some bourbon in that?
Yeah. You ever take that chocolate milk and load it up with Kahlua?
It's so good.
All the time. That's why I'm here
Put a
now.
little slice of mint in there. Serve it with a sidecar of the best tequila you can find. Perfect.
And 3 tall gigglings. Now that's a glass of milk.
Now that's lunch.
Flash flood warning this area till 10:45
Oh
p.m.
shit! No way.
Avoid flood areas. National
Well,
Weather
you guys will
Service.
know how bad the flood gets in here based on how we start screaming when it comes through the window.
Yeah, exactly. You'll know if we got flooded when we start screaming and run away.
Now, what flash flood means for this area is new roads going to get bogged down, and that's about it.
My property is. I mean, like most of Austin town is bad for floods, but my whole backyard becomes inaccessible. It's like a complete like swamp in between my place and the people behind me.
Right.
But nothing else really. I years ago I used to have the garage flood all the time.
Yeah.
And I put one of those like plug things in the drain.
Yeah.
And screwed it in real good, and then the wing nut broke, so now it's just stuck there.
Yeah.
But that's fine because it doesn't flood all the time.
Right. No, that's the thing. I think I told you when you moved in here, like, hey, Austin town's a flood zone. The whole township sits underground. So
My property value just went up, boy.
Yeah.
The house next door sold for twice what I paid for this place.
Good.
Yeah. That's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still a flood zone.
Yeah.
Right. But still a garbage
That's
place
all
to
right.
live.
Look. I can't think of any better reason not to leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yep, seriously. You guys came here a little bit early tonight to beat the storm.
Yeah.
Just in an attempt to not be out at it.
Yeah, it was fine the whole way up here, and then the skies opened the very moment I took the key out of the ignition.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's how it goes.
Seriously, God, thank you.
What an asshole.
An asshole.
I don't know, you got anything, Chris? How you feeling? You feeling fucked?
You know what? I'm having a great day today.
This is weird.
I'm not. The only reason I'm fucked is I would say I don't, and I'm not even fucked because it's not happening.
I demand you guys be more unhappy.
I'm actually having a great day. So I'll start with the bad. I was working over at Alex's house first thing this morning, bright and early.
That's
which
right.
is just what you want to be doing after a night of heavy drinking and hockey.
Wake up around 7 a.m.
You're right. So yeah, we went over there, put the top flooring into the shed that he's been working on.
His shed's
for a
gonna be
while.
so nice.
It's painted. The doors are on it. It looks great.
I gotta see that.
Top floor's on. He's just got to do the accoutrement, as it were.
The accoutrement.
Yeah, he's got all the conduit boxes in there for when he wires it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were out there doing that. You guys have been hearing about the cicadas that are due this year.
Yes.
They are there at his
I
house.
haven't seen one yet.
They are fucking everywhere.
Oh my god!
And he said one of the funniest things to me this morning. We were because I noticed them like when I didn't notice them at first.
Yeah.
But like I went into his house to take a piss, and then I was walking through his driveway, and I'm looking down, and they're just everywhere.
Like live still, right?
Yeah,
They haven't done that creepy molting thing or
A
whatever.
lot of them are molted. A lot of them are just like in the process of dying, right there.
Oh, God.
So it's like
It's like Men in Black.
and
It's
you can
like
hear
horrible.
them. You can hear that they make the classic like leg crunchy sound.
Yeah.
So I told him, I asked him, I'm like, do these things just like every 17 years just come out of the ground to fuck and die?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's about it. He's
They
like,
fuck, they eat each other, maybe,
Right.
and they die.
and he was like, boy, sure glad those haven't gone extinct yet. Good thing we've preserved those.
Right.
It's like a terror of prehistoric proportion, the way these
Yeah.
things live.
Yeah, they're fucking nasty. I mean, they're just. I remember the last time it happened, I was
What got the 17-year one?
Yeah, 11 years, something like that. Actually, we were on our way to Florida.
Yeah.
So it was
Florida.
So I was like 11 years old at the time, or somewhere around there, and they were fucking. I remember we stopped at a rest stop, and
they were fucking.
They were fucking. They were everywhere,
right in front of my salad.
Kid, quit watching here. Hey, I'm fucking here. Hey, kid, get back to the minivan. I'm trying to fuck over here.
Hey. Hold on, I'm taking my shell off, kid.
Watching's $20.
Don't make me take my shell off and come over there and beat your ass, kid.
Get the fuck back in the van. No, you don't get any Doritos.
Next episode on AMC presents Trucker Cicadas.
Hey, kid, you got any meth?
Trucker Cicadas of Route 66.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit down on my luck, kid. You got any drugs?
I'd like to take some drugs before I fucking die.
It's just a cicada leaned up on a lamppost with smoking a cigarette butt.
Yeah, not even smoking like a gas station cigar that you get in a bag.
Hey, kid, what you need?
He just opens up his coat and it's just more dead shells. It's like, hey kid, you want some shells? I got some dead shells. I got in this pocket. I got some more dead shells.
No,
my God, no, that's gross. Hey, get the fuck out of here, kid.
He's scared off my customers.
He's scared off the other locusts. He's scared off the other cicadas. I'm gonna fuck.
Okay, that's dumb. But I'm glad we pursued that one all the way to the end.
They fuck.
Yeah, they fuck. They definitely fuck.
Oh, those bugs fuck.
So I guess that's the bad news is these things are all over the place, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Not by me.
I haven't seen them yet.
Thankfully, not by me.
They must be in like clusters. Like they must be in like patches, right? They must hang out near each other.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they burrow underground.
Yeah.
And then they just live there for a while, and then they come out and annoy the fuck out of you for like 3 weeks, and then they die.
Can't we just blowtorch these things all to death and never have to deal with them again?
I hope so. I don't know if they actually do anything for the environment.
I would imagine not, other than leave around protein-rich husks for other things to eat.
Yeah. Who cares though?
It's gross.
Isn't that what we have pigs for?
What?
You slaughter them and you eat those protein-rich husks.
I guess so. Yeah. That is what their whole body is just like a protein-rich husk for their bones. Right?
Someone told me the other day, I had a vegetarian tell me, pigs are as smart as dogs. And I went, oh, yeah? Okay.
Well, that's great.
Don't care.
I hope I absorb some of that intelligence while I eat every last one.
Eating the last known pig.
Well, you said that's bad news. Do you have any good news?
No, you know what? I had a great day. I went over, got up real early, which is weird considering the amount of jalapeno poppers that I stuffed into my mouth last night.
Those are so good.
Yeah.
And drinking beer, got up real early, helped him work on that. Immediately went to go get lunch with Dad.
Yeah.
Had a nice time. Always have a nice time with him. Talked a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I went home and took a nap. I'm having a great day.
That's great.
That's great.
The fact that you guys are both not feeling fucked is unseemly to me, but okay.
Yeah. How often does that happen? We had one of us
usually.
Yeah.
But not 2 out of 3.
No. Having a great day. Having a pretty good week.
But the truth is, even me in feeling fucked, it's kind of tongue in cheek, realistically. Yeah. Which is, I'll say. I took part in the Ryobi Days sale since Alec turned me on to it, and I got a couple of rechargeable batteries, and I got my impact driver that I'm all excited about. But then in doing so, I realized they have an electric everything.
Yeah, dude.
And I knew they had a lot of tools, but like everything, up to and including an electric push mower.
Yeah.
You can like mow your lawn with a big green Ryobi lawnmower.
Yeah, dude.
That makes not no noise, but very little noise.
That's sick.
Yeah. Huh. I was looking at it, and it's like I had to know what it sounded like, right? Because I'm like, how quiet can this be? It's like you're hearing mostly just the blades, kind of. Yeah, sort of. I mean, it still kind of chugs a bit, but it's an electric chug. It's totally different.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I guess the reason I'm feeling fucked is I'm starting to do stuff, like I'm building things, and I'm realizing I'm there's going to be no end to how much money I'm going to throw at the Ryobi Corporation.
They're great, dude.
It will never stop.
Great tools for like $30 or $40 less, $30 to $130 less than what you'd buy. You know, like the better, the quote unquote better brand tools.
I got a table saw and like a miter saw for like about $280 when I bought them. That would be one saw from someone else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they fucking kill it. They're great. Yeah,
but it's never going to end.
In this post Craftsman era,
yes,
where Craftsman has sold their name and now they're garbage.
Do they still do the thing where you can take a thing back and get it replaced for free?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I think they still honor the warranty because usually there's contingencies in place for that. But Craftsman used to be like the go-to because they were like not crazy expensive tools that would last, and they had a lifetime warranty. I mean, like what more could you ask for? They'll replace it for you if it ever fails to do its job.
If I buy a wrench and it breaks and I could just go to someone and be like, give me another one, what other thing in the world can you do that with for life?
Right. I mean, Craftsman was just basically blue collar Snap-on. I mean, it's budget.
I was going to say, I feel like Snap-on are the guys that at least most recently kind of like took over that throne.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Snap-on's been like consistently.
I would say within the last decade.
They've always been pretty good, but like, I guess maybe more prevalent. More people know the name now. Yeah. But Snap-on tools, I mean, they've always been like, you'll spend $50 on a wrench. You know what I mean? Like they're they're a little nutso, but the stuff's good. You know, and I guess that's maybe a good reason we're fucked. It's Craftsman's. Shit now. You know,
that's like, it's emblematic of so many other things like it, where it's like, oh, we used to have this really great, awesome, reliable consumer brand, and then everything about it changed except its name, and now it's absolute dog shit.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that last night with Frigidaire brand stuff, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. You guys know this stuff by virtue of like working at Best Buy.
Yeah,
you guys know a lot of these things, but I'm still the guy where I'm like, Maytag's probably fine, Whirlpool's probably fine. I don't really know what the brands are.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah,
they're fine. Maytag especially is a little bit better because they actually test everything before it leaves the factory.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, which is you get that little extra peace of mind.
How about GE? Garbage?
No,
really.
And actually, GE is consistently. Like I get to go to all the big when I go out to Connecticut every year. That's a vendor show, so the vendors pay for us to go to the casino every year. And we have to. That's it. They also pay for my drinking binge when I'm out there.
That's it.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, that's
they also pay for my hangover cure in the morning. But yeah, no, they send us out there every year as a product vendor show.
Yeah.
And every year the GE class, which is always like 2.5 hours long, GE every fucking year just killing it.
Oh, really?
Everything they do is always so good. They're always the best presentation. They always have the coolest shit.
Yeah. Nice.
They did I guess it's released, so I can tell you guys now.
Okay.
They have this thing called the Kitchen Hub, which is basically just a range hood that goes like over your stove and it vents and it has the light and everything. But it's just a giant iPad.
It's like the center of your whole kitchen experience.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
It's this giant, like it's a 30-inch wide thing, so it's like a 26-inch screen.
Yeah,
and it's like it operates like a tablet. This thing has got tasty recipe app, Netflix, YouTube, Snapchat.
You mean to tell me I can watch Netflix just above my stove?
Yeah, dude. So, and this is just all the nerdy techie stuff. You can, if you want to like video what you're cooking and like show somebody or send it to somebody, you could do it via text message or like
that's the coolest thing.
Yeah, and it'll actually just film. There's cameras, so it'll film straight down on your cook surface.
So cool.
That's fucking sick, dude. We were watching Endgame on it while they were doing the demo, or not Endgame, Infinity War while we were doing the demo. That's fucking cool. They had it hooked up. We were watching Netflix.
What's that cost? Like a $1,500?
No, $1,000.
Okay,
$1,000. Yeah, not nearly as bad as I expected.
Yeah, expensive, but not crazy expensive.
Yeah,
and then, like, with what it is
on the like the side of like what it's supposed to do. It's like a 600 cubic foot per minute vent hood.
Oh,
which is crazy good.
Yeah. On average, they're like 300, right?
Yeah, roughly. Actually, now closer to 200.
Yeah.
200 to 250.
I was looking into these because I want one.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely need one up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fucking cool. They consistently kill it every year. They have a fridge where you can brew your coffee, like a Keurig cup in it, and it'll auto dispense.
In the refrigerator?
Yeah, filtered water. It'll heat your and it's smart operated, so you can wake up and go, "Hey Alexa, tell Geneva is the program that it runs through." So,
okay.
Hey Alexa, tell Geneva to preheat my coffee to 132 degrees.
Wow.
Or 192 degrees. Bam.
You can. Oh wow.
And it'll preheat your fridge, and then you come downstairs, put your mug on it, bam, drop
That
the
makes
pot
my
in there.
coffee maker seem so damned Soviet,
Dude,
where it's like the temperature is what it is. It is hot.
You can also scan if you work with the app that they have, you can scan it on your phone, like any frozen dinner.
Unbelievable.
You scan it on your phone, and it'll preheat your oven to that. And on the more advanced ones, the microwaves, you can preheat your microwaves, or like it'll like set the time on your microwave. So you open it up and close. It's fucking.
I cannot believe this,
dude. It is fucking killer.
Your mic good?
Yeah, I'm fucking with these elastic things.
Yeah. No, it's sweet, dude. It's I love shit like that. They consistently crush it. So,
all right. Well,
the kitchen of the future.
Early recommendation: buy GE. It's fucking great.
Also, GE sponsor us.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying if I ever had an offer to work for GE to do like one of those vendor trainings, I would do it in a heartbeat.
See, I had no idea. Cool. I just don't know what's good anymore. I'm really gonna have to ask you every time I go to buy.
Oh yeah,
anything.
dude.
Yeah.
What we're here for.
But yeah, I'm fucked because Ryobi is going to take all my money for the next 2 years.
Yeah, dude. Ryobi, dude, there's worse things you could spend your money on.
Yeah.
Like cicada husks, for example.
Like cicada husks out of the opened trench coat of a giant human-sized cicada.
Yeah, and they've been fucking in those things too.
Yeah. Seedy.
Hey, kid, you want to buy a Midas saw?
Yeah, seedy in more ways than one.
I got a cordless drill. It's got your name on it. Come on, my kid's got to eat.
It's also covered in husks. I hope that's okay.
That's not a problem, is it?
This is weird.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back in a minute, we will play Would You Rather and then talk about the main topic for this episode.
Yeah.
All right, stick around.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Three Dude Podcast. Hey. Woo! Yeah.
You can find us at 3dudecast.com.
If you're wondering whether that's spelled with the numeral 3 or the word 3, the answer is yes.
We're so proud of ourselves.
We're so clever. We're such clever boys.
Wow. We've switched hosting to Podbean. You can still find us on iTunes and Google Play. So give us a like.
Yeah, give us a like. Give us a listen. Give us a review somewhere.
Give us a sandwich.
Give us a high five.
Give us sponsorships.
Please give us a hug.
Give us that money. Where the motherfucking cheese go at?
I don't know.
Motherfucker. I don't know.
And Gene Ween.
I know I've already recommended it. Go listen to the Ween brothers, who aren't actually brothers.
The brothers Ween.
The brothers Ween. Dean and Gene Ween.
Where did that cheese go?
I don't know.
Yeah. We're back.
Yes.
It is this show still.
It sure is, bud.
And I have for you guys a Would You Rather. Now, normally when I present you with a Would You Rather, I like to give it the scenario. There's a good and bad side to it.
Oh, Bo, Jesus Christ, dude. Wow.
The dog just rip ass
Yeah,
over
he
there?
just let an atom bomb down. Woo.
He even looks like he feels bad about it.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, also good job, but woo.
Get out of here.
Oh, come on, dog. He's still, it's the thunderstorm. He doesn't want to leave us alone.
It's a thunder. It's the thunder.
I'm surprised it's still thundering, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's been happening since we all got together. But
Yeah.
anyway, normally I present you with like a good scenario with a bad angle. This is all bad.
All right.
This is all bad. I'm tired of you guys going, no, immediately I want this one. So I decided to give you nothing good.
You've been doing this, regularly.
What, the...
We're still going to find a scenario where we go, okay, yeah, that one. For
Maybe.
some arbitrary reason
Maybe.
that makes no sense.
Okay, so would you rather have a talking gremlin for a penis or be a gremlin's talking penis?
Oh my God. You absolute monster.
Yes! This is a no-win scenario I've been dreaming of.
The initial impression is I want to be the penis.
Do you want to know anything about the Gremlin?
Yes, it seems as though you prepared.
I would love to tell you more about the Gremlin. It's just the Gremlin from the movie Gremlins.
Oh,
it's
okay.
that big, mean, scary green Gremlin.
Okay,
That's the Gremlin.
That sounds fucking rad.
Well, sure. If he's your penis, there's some utility to that too.
Elaborate.
Hey, everyone, check out this Gremlin penis.
Anybody want to touch it? Nope. Okay.
All right.
I think being someone else's genitalia would be the ultimate nightmare scenario. I want my freedom of movement. I want to be able to play video games still. So I would have a gremlin for a penis.
But you've got a Gremlin penis.
Yeah,
man.
but I can still like hold down a job presumably and eat things.
Yeah, but also think about like you don't have to have a job. You don't have to have a job. You can just sleep all day in the sweaty pouch of the Gremlin's pants. It's like being a dog. You don't have any responsibilities anymore, except of course to show up and be a penis whenever the time is right. But other than that,
and no freedom.
So when the gremlin has to urinate, does it come out of my mouth?
yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
fuck, dude.
You
this is
open wide and you're just like gushing urine,
Great.
and then he shakes you around and you're
Great.
done.
What a great visual. Okay, so if the gremlin's my penis, it's
Yeah.
definitely alive and sentient, right? Like it's its own.
Yeah, with the Gremlin.
Yeah, it's not like
No,
it's
he's
just-
a guy. He does the normal Gremlin things. He brings you along for the ride. You're
No,
his
no, I
penis.
mean like if he's my penis.
Oh, if he's
the
your
gremlin's like it's not like it just looks like a,
No.
a gremlin.
He thinks like a gremlin. He just can't get out of there. He won't hurt you. Yeah, he won't hurt you because you're part of the host organism that supports him. But he's not nice to you.
Oh, he's gonna be a dick to me.
Yes.
Yes, he
will.
On
He will.
multiple levels. Fuck, that's impossible. You can't make me
Hey,
choose this.
you know what? It's the no-win scenario I dreamed of.
Shit.
Choose your poison.
You know, my initial thought is to go as the penis.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, you got to remember the gremlin's wearing pants, so most of the time you're kind of alone.
Yes, that's the problem. I don't want to be alone forever. Although I'm going to be alone forever if I have a gremlin dick.
Yep. Yep. Either way.
Baby, would you still love me if my dick was a gremlin?
Fuck. Well, see, there you go.
Hard, exactly. That's a hard no and a soft gremlin.
And there's our episode title.
A hard no and a soft gremlin.
Fuck you, dude.
I know. I thought that this would be a little trickier than normal.
I hate that I have to answer this way, but I'm gonna go with I want the gremlin penis, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the rationale here? What's better about this scenario than the other one?
The only thing is what Ben brought up is I get to like live my life as I see fit.
Right.
And I don't have to have urine in my mouth unless I want to.
Unless you choose to. That's an option you can take. Your gremlin penis won't stop anyone from peeing in your mouth.
No. Well, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I get to live, I guess. Although
Yeah.
it's going to be horrible and I'll probably commit suisid.
Yeah,
As if I
probably.
needed a reason. No, I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking.
So you're going gremlin for a penis.
I'm going gremlin for a penis.
Did you? I mean, he's basically, he's just from the waist up, right? He doesn't have legs. He just has the
I
waist
know.
and the wavy arms.
Yeah,
and-
I can
Yeah.
can see it. Trust
Right.
me.
yeah.
Fortunately, I'm so fat I haven't seen my penis in like 10 years. so-
Hey, the advantages
Yeah,
of being
that's what I'm
fat. So Ben, what do you came down pretty much on having a gremlin penis?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep.
I gotta say, I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
Table's unanimous.
All right.
I don't want to be trapped in some gremlin's sweaty undershorts.
Yeah. Team gremlin penis.
Or as opposed to Team Penis Gremlin.
Well, all right. That one wasn't as complicated as I thought it was, but it was certainly a no one's happy type scenario. So
Yeah,
that's,
thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you for putting that visual into my head.
You're very welcome.
Oh, I'm Chris.
Hi, Chris. I'm Dad.
Oh, there we go. That's
Fucking A.
the
Yes.
3 dude cast I remember.
Right back on track. So let's talk about the topic.
Yeah.
Somehow, in 3 seasons of this show, we have never talked about the times we've been the most scared. Fear. And I figured tonight on a dark and stormy night, with spooky lightning and thunder everywhere, it might be appropriate to talk about some times when we've been genuinely terrified.
Okay.
Or maybe the things that haven't happened to us yet, but that we fear happening in the future.
Yeah.
So tonight's episode is fear.
Gremlin penis.
Gremlin for a penis.
Yeah, that's a good fear to have.
Yeah. All right, I can start us off with a recent one.
I forgot. He talks. You guys remember that, right? He talks.
Yeah, we know.
He talks to you.
Trust me,
Okay.
I'm aware.
Great. Got it. Okay, we're moving on. Morty.
Excuse me.
So who's got something to start us off?
Oh, I do. I'm just not doing it.
Oh, okay, great. Well,
No, I have something to start us off. This is a recent one.
oh, really?
Yeah. I killed somebody the other day, and I had to find a place to get rid of the body, right? So
Yeah, sure.
the first thing you got to do is hack it into little pieces,
Right.
and put it in different places. So
You
it's
need
a lot
your
harder.
tools.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you need
So-
your
tools.
Ryobi.
right.
You need that sawzall to take the shoulder
See,
joint
the problem
apart.
is it wasn't Ryobi days at the time, so I had to pay full price. It was just fucking horrible.
You spend way too much to get rid
Right.
of your dead bodies.
Right, and then I got blood all over my bathroom floor, and that's gonna look bad.
Oh, this happened in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it didn't happen in the bathroom. I just, took care of it in the bathroom.
I see. Right.
After I was done jerking off. No, that's not true. What I was actually going to talk about,
Oh my
before
God.
I got off on the tangent, is sometime last year. This is going to sound so fucking stupid and idiotic.
All right.
I got sick. I had a very, very bad sinus infection that lasted for a long time.
Last year.
Yeah, and so it lasted for a long time. And I was doping myself up on cheap cold medicine, like dollar store Dayquil. And I hate fucking taking cold medicine because it just wires me and it just puts me in a weird half-stoned state of mind.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is, the like decongestant type stuff is all like stimulants.
It's
right?
speed, yeah.
It's so speed.
Yeah, right. So coupled with the fact that I drink like four to 6 cups of coffee at work a day.
Yep.
With the cold medicine, it was just the right cocktail for like I don't
would make this great amphetamines.
Yeah, right. So like, this is great. The only thing that would make the only thing could have made this scenario worse is if I was also doing cocaine at the time.
Right. Just a quick bump and then my over the counter pill.
So I had this like crazy wired half stoned cocktail of lots of coffee and cold medicine, and I was like 2 or 3 days into this really, I guess probably closer to 4 days into this really nasty head cold, and I started using a neti pot.
Oh yeah, I like the neti pot.
I do too, but the thing is, I just like, and I'm the guy who like does everything correctly and follows the directions.
Yeah, you put the saline packet in. And
So okay, I went to the store specifically to buy distilled water, and what I did when I pulled my neti pot out because I didn't have any distilled water on hand, I put the saline packet in. I always use 2 packets when I'm really sick because it helps,
sure,
break that up a little better. So I did that. And then instead of taking the brand new, totally unopened bottle of distilled water, I just filled it out of the tap, which is like a big no-no.
Yeah, right.
Because of brain-eating amoebas, right?
Which is super rare, but possible.
Super, and like I can't stress to you enough how incredibly, overwhelmingly rare this is.
That's like being afraid that you're going to pour a shark into your neti pot.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's almost certainly not going to happen.
Yeah.
If you put $100,000 on it, that you could do that every day for a year and you wouldn't get it, you'd probably win your money back.
Yeah, probably.
Like it's super rare. It's not, but like the thing is, I was on just enough cocktail of like medicine and coffee every day that I'm like, at first it was a joke. I was like, oh man, I think I might. I realized that as I was finishing, I'm like, oh fuck.
What have I done?
What have I done? I forgot to use the distilled water, and it was a joke. I'm like, I think I might get a brain-eating amoeba. And then, I told Trisha, and she's like, you're not gonna get a brain-eating amoeba. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm just fucking around. And the thing is,
oh my God,
that night I made the mistake of Googling it.
No,
it's Noguera Fowlery, if I remember correctly.
All right.
Something, it's pronounced like that. And I saw the picture of the thing, and I read the accounts of what it does to you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever done the deep dive. Just look up brain-eating amoeba on Google.
I can only imagine how
I'll do that.
this must be.
Never.
Yeah, right. The thing is, basically, you do it, all of a sudden you get flu-like symptoms that are flu-like symptoms for a day and then become very intense and your brain swells, and you get this undying, horrible fever, and then you go into a coma for 3 weeks, and then you die.
Oh my God.
End. There is no...
Like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Like within 3 weeks of doing it.
That's insane.
So you go through this horrible nightmare, and most of it you're going to be unconscious, and the survival rate is less than 1%.
Oh my God.
There's been like 1 or 2 recorded cases of someone making it through that, and the 2 that did were severely brain damaged for the rest of their life. So it's like you're fucked. Like that's the end. You're done. You're absolutely done. So the thing is, it was a joke to me the first time I said it, right? Because I'm like, oh, and then I read this,
and then your like coked out brain on all your over the counter pills goes, it might be happening to me right now,
and I'm drinking, like I can't stress enough. We're in sales, so okay, we drink a lot of fucking coffee at work, a lot of coffee. It's either cocaine or coffee, and coffee's cheaper. So we're just going through this, and like, and I'm just doping myself on cold medicine, and I got so. Paranoid and anxious, and like I don't have an anxiety problem. I have never had an anxiety problem. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that I've ever had to deal with or understand. And I was having like panic attacks.
Yeah.
Like one night, and this was like a week and a half into it. I woke up in the middle of a dead sleep at 3:30 in the morning with cold sweats, and I was just freaking out, like, I'm gonna die. I kept thinking I was gonna die.
Yeah.
I had to call off work. I missed a day of work because I was freaking out so bad.
Yeah.
And like basically what basically fixed it was I stopped fucking taking the cold medicine. I cut way back on the coffee, and then I just stopped taking cold medicine and suffered.
Do you take things according to the label?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, at least you're not just popping them like whatever you feel.
No, I don't know if you've ever been on a NyQuil, DayQuil high, but...
No, I've never taken enough to be like, wow.
Yeah, don't mix them together, and don't drink them out of the bottle like an animal. It's not a good idea, trust me.
Yeah, I could never. They taste like ass.
Bad things happen to good people. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Everyone talks about that sort of like... DayQuil kind of, or NyQuil trip, right?
Yeah.
That's the one. Mm-hmm. Or is it Robitussin?
No, it's Robitussin.
Yeah, it's Robitussin. That's the one.
The healing power of the tussin. Yeah. No, but I and even then, after I quit taking the medicine, it was like there's like a sweet spot where it's like 7 to 10 days after you do that, that's when the symptoms start to show up.
Oh my God.
So I had like 3 days of sheer and utter terror because I'm like, this is the day. I'm just going to start. Because the thing is, it's like you have like head cold, flu-like symptoms. And I had those already because I was already sick, which is why I used the fucking neti pot. So it was like a double whammy because I'm like, oh God, this is it. Everything was like, I'm going to fucking die. I'm going to die. I'm not going to be able to separate it. And I haven't had a panic attack. I hadn't had a panic attack in like, I don't know, 15 years before that. I was a teenager the last time that happened to me.
Yeah.
And I was like fucking terrified. Because I know what this is like.
I know what this feeling is.
Yeah, I had like convinced myself that I was gonna die. I was like making my peace with God. Like I was just
going through and taking a tally of all the bad things you ever did.
Seriously, like I had talked to myself into believing that this was going to happen to me.
I've had times where I've like especially it's usually when I'm trying to lay down and fall asleep.
Yeah.
And it is usually when I've had too much caffeine. Where I'm just laying there feeling my pulse in my neck.
Yeah.
Going, yep, I could feel the blockage moving into place to kill me.
Here's the aneurysm.
Seriously.
Here comes Mr. Aneurysm.
Well, no, it just
a Mr. Aneurysm.
No, like seriously, I gotta
disable your brain, a Mr. Aneurysm.
No, like I seriously like feel like the saturated fat in my diet is like making its home in my neck.
Yeah.
It scares the hell out of me.
No, it's probably making it in your heart more than anything. I'm just being honest. Like that's usually where it sits. Not so much in your neck.
Yeah,
a blood clot would sit in your neck. Yeah, and you would never be able to predict that.
Jesus Christ!
You'd never know.
This is the shit that keeps me up at night.
We could just be doing this podcast, and you could just
Jesus Christ
fall off the chair. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't do that.
But I know what you mean by the terror of like just thinking about what things can happen to you.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a little bit of an obsessive thing. And for most of us, it's not a useful exercise. Worrying really
horrible.
can't do anything for you.
The one good thing that came out of it, I know now, like all the jokes that I've ever, self-deprecating jokes I ever made my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't want to die. I'm not ready to die.
I just learned I don't want to die.
I figured it out all in that moment. Like, no, I don't want to die. I want to be alive still. Still got stuff I got to do, apparently. I don't know what that is, but I don't want to die. So,
yeah, no, I relate to that fear. I really do.
yeah, I mean, I had a fucking, like, several
Yeah.
full-blown panic attacks. And then I would talk myself down off the ledge, like, no, you're fine. You're just being an idiot. And I would joke about it. And then it would be like, but no, seriously.
Yeah.
You're going to die. It had this little voice in my head. That
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
That was
Always
the most
is.
scared that I can remember being recently. I mean, that was just terrifying. So
I remember some years ago, and you guys probably already know about this. I'm pretty sure I told this story to you guys already. But the time I was driving down 11, coming into Austintown to pick my brother up from his work because he was working at the O'Donnell's over there at the time, and I hit standing water doing 65 and started hydrating. My car did a complete 360.
Oh my God!
Before I was able to like do what I wanted to do and steer it into the median, so I would just like stop.
yeah,
Right.
which is what you're supposed to do. That's good.
Yeah, and so like as soon as it started going sideways, all I did was shout no, like not even like as a. I mean, yeah, I was afraid, but it was more like as an anger reaction, like you fucking piece of shit, do what I tell you.
Right, exactly.
I had a similar reaction when I had my car accident in February. When I noticed the guy behind me, I think I just went like, I don't even think I said a word. I just went like, ah!
It was partly anger. It was partly me just, fucking like you motherfucker, stop it.
Actually, I remember I said shit, and then I got hit. That's what it was.
It was pretty fucking terrifying. Yeah, I ended up doing a complete 360 while in motion, and then I was able to get like relatively straight and take off into the median.
Yeah,
there was no one near me at the time, thank fucking God. But the guy who was like way behind me pulled over to make sure I was okay.
Yeah.
I was. The alignment on my dad's car was not.
Yeah. Well, dude, fuck the car.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a weird dream I had once?
Pretty
that
easy
still
fix,
freaks
all
me
things
out.
considered.
Yeah. Right.
I had a dream when I was a kid. I was maybe like 8 or 9 years old. We had bunk beds in my room. My brother was on the top bunk, and I was in the bottom bunk, right? So, in the bottom bunk, you can see out sort of the bottom where your feet are, because it's open there. Or at least they often are.
Right.
So I remember having a dream when I was a kid, waking up in the middle of the night, bedroom doors wide open. There is a nondescript figure standing in my doorway, like a sort of like a white puffy kind of looking figure, like
The Michelin Man.
yeah, but like less fat, I guess. And I feel like it had
The Grand Wizard of the KKK.
it was Pope Benedict. But it was. I remember being sort of almost like a doll-like figure, and having very little eyes, and that's it. Like that's all I remember about its face.
Oh.
And I remember just standing there, looking at me.
Which is
Did you used to have sleep paralysis?
I've never had sleep paralysis, but I have had those sort of like sleep interruptions where I'd like get up and walk around the house and stuff like that. Or talk in my sleep or crawl around in my sleep.
I talk in my sleep.
Because seeing figures is something I've heard about sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
That if you you wake up and
I had sleep paralysis once, and that was way later. I remember laying on my side facing a wall, and I was lucky I was facing a wall because I hear what happens to people with the sleep paralysis. They, they see things like kind of like what I saw in that dream, I guess.
Right.
But they can't move or whatever.
yeah.
And I had that where I slowly kind of peeled my eyes open and was staring at the wall and couldn't move anything else.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fucked up.
That happened to me for a few seconds, and then I very gradually kind of started moving my leg. It was only for a few seconds. It was when I was very, very young. I haven't had that since.
Yeah.
It's strange. I've heard that it's fucking unsettling and not fun.
Do you guys have a lot of nightmares?
Not anymore.
Nah, well,
not anymore.
Towards the end of my tenure at my last job, I was starting to have nightmares about work. I was starting to have nightmares about my job, like pretty much on any night where I didn't drink.
Yeah.
Normally when I drink, I don't dream, or I don't remember my dreams.
Maybe that's just alcohol and all that out of the system.
No, yeah, you don't remember your dreams after, or I don't at least.
Yeah. I think I'm acutely aware of the fact that I dream sometime, but I don't remember them. I used to always remember my dreams.
Yeah.
I don't anymore.
I'm fairly sure I had some kind of nightmare, not last night, but the night before.
Okay.
It was some kind of, but I can't remember exactly what it was. It must not have been that bad because I don't remember like any negative. Because you know how when you have like a bad dream or a nightmare, like you'll like carry that with you for a lot of the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that bad. I think it was just like weird. I don't know if it was like particularly scary at all.
I've had some weird nightmares that don't even they're not even rooted in anything logical. Like I had a nightmare once that Robin Wright was like standing in a dark room.
Mrs. Underwood?
Yes, Mrs. fucking Underwood. And she looked at me with this like face that was almost like the Scream kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just her mouth was open and she looked really upset or scared. And I fucking bolted up out of bed. Yeah. It doesn't have to be scary. It just has to be unsettling, I guess.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of dreams like that.
I had a really, really vivid nightmare when I was in high school.
Oh God.
Where me and this girl I was partnered with on an art project were like in like this hell version of the school. I know exactly. I was playing a lot of Doom 3 at the time.
Yeah.
So it was like blood all over the walls and like fire outside of every window. So there was like, and there was this dude in a trench coat with a knife that was coming after us, and we didn't know where in the school he was.
That's fucked up.
I woke up thinking like, holy shit, what the fuck? But then like as the day went on, I was like, it's actually kind of a badass nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as you gain distance from it, it stops being so scary. It just becomes the thing you talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
See, most of my dreams, I think I've told you guys before, most of my dreams are fucking like either really crazy cool action movies or just fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like I have dreams.
You've told me your boring dreams before, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Can you tell me one of them again?
I'll give you my favorite boring dream that I've ever had.
I'll give you one after you're done.
I had a dream that I was in the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
So
that sounds amazing.
Wait,
no, I remember this.
You would think so.
Were you like a junk dealer or something?
No, I was in the Star Wars universe, and
I love this.
What are the?
Oh God.
So I'm like, which is like awesome. You're like, oh, cool Star Wars universe, but I didn't get to do the cool Jedi fighting, like bounty hunting Star Wars universe. I was in the Senate. I was in the Galactic Senate. So it's just me this whole time in like big flowy robes, and like they're like we're talking about what we need to talk to the Jedi about, where we need to like talk to the Jedi about them going to take care of something. And I remember there's a part of the dream. I distinctly remember there's a part of the dream where like, okay, we're in a ship and we're heading to Coruscant, presumably, for you nerds out there, to go to a Galactic Senate meeting. And instead, I'm thinking, like, instead of like looking out the ship like into space, it's like there's a camera watching me and the two other
like you see in the shot into the Millennium Falcon sort of cockpit.
Yeah, exactly.
Of, like,
but it's like me and then two other like senators who are there to represent. And like I'm watching myself, not in like not looking out into space. I'm watching me.
Like, what do you think about Dantooine's rider on the new appropriations bill?
Exactly. And we're like talking about like where the Jedi are gonna go. And I remember there's a point where I'm like in the Senate while they're having a Senate hearing, and my dream self goes. I had a dream where I was bored.
You dreamed that you were having a boring version.
All the cool Star Wars shit was happening away from what I was doing. But it was definitely a Star Wars universe. I was just like, that's the kind of dream that I have. And then I'll have fucking cool dream. I'll have that, and then I'll have a dream like I had a dream years ago once where me and a group of all my friends from high school were armed with weapons, and we were in Egypt, and we were crawling through the pyramids as though the pyramids are hollow. and we were trying to get to the top of the pyramids because there was an alien invasion happening.
Yeah.
And we had to navigate our way through this like pyramid, like this maze inside the pyramids, and get to the top and activate something. And all these alien things were just picking off my friends one by one.
That sounds like a desperate plan. It sounds like a real mad pyramid scheme.
Yeah. No, but I remember the dream ended like I had a shotgun and I was in the back of the room, and this thing, like this alien thing, ran out on all fours, and they're like, "Look out!" because they could hear it. And I looked behind me, and this alien thing just runs like a dog. And you know how like a dog slides on linoleum?
Yeah.
It did that from the top of this
pyramid?
ramp. Well, like he was on, like I'm here, there's this ramp like this.
Oh, okay.
And I turn around and I go to shoot at this thing, and I miss because it slides like linoleum slides, and then jumps up on the wall from like comes back in, jumps up on the wall, jumps on the opposite side of the wall,
and then all of a sudden bangs the gavel and Senate is in session.
No.
And you have to vote on an appropriations bill.
Oh man, we gotta get.
Oh man,
No,
we gotta figure out how we're gonna fund this pyramid before the end of the fiscal year. Oh jeez.
No, I missed this thing 3 times, and then it jumps on top of me, and then does this, and then I woke up, and I was like, and I was like, cool. It was so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool. But yeah, so my dreams are either like high octane, pedal to the metal, or they're fucking boring. I had a dream that I was playing stickball in the 1950s one time. That was it. I just had a dream. And then at the end of it, me and like 2 other neighborhood kids were walking away, like walking into the sunset shot.
The final shot of
that was it. It was just me playing stickball. Nothing fun happened.
I can't tell you how many dreams I've had. I think I said this on the show before, where I'm sitting on the toilet and so is everyone else. There's a bunch of people. We're all in a communal room. We're all naked sitting on toilets, and we're all just peeing.
Nice.
Like I'm just peeing with a crowd of people.
Peeing sitting down?
Yeah.
You girl.
Hey, it's comfortable.
I mean, I know, but
I have this dream all the time where it's just like and we're just talking.
I have dreams where, and I actually just had one the other night where I like start like I'll be walking somewhere and like I start finding I'm having trouble like keeping my feet on the ground, so I just decide like fuck it, and I just start levitating instead. Like I obviously can't help it at this point, so I just like everyone's literally like, hey, how's it going, what's up? And eventually it works by like tensing up the muscles in the small of my back, and then like I can get higher the longer I do it, and then like when I drop, I don't like, for lack of a better term, I don't take fall damage.
You can land. You can fall as far as you want and just kind of land.
Yeah, like if I get too close to a wall, just like kind of kick off of it a little bit and then just like eventually come back down. But it's like in my dreams sometimes I have these weird levitating, these weird levitation spells that sometimes come over. And I'm like, fuck, I guess I'm doing this then.
I guess I'm just achieving flight. Boring. NBD.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess like a lot of what scares me is probably my dreams. It's like I have a lot of nightmares, but I also have like irrational, regular day-to-day fears. Do you guys do that? Do you feel like there's someone over your shoulder a lot?
Yeah, I
pretty much constantly.
Okay,
at work.
so I guess I do have some anxiety in that. Like, have you ever been in? I guess this isn't really fear.
Turkish prison.
Yeah, you've been in you ever seen a grown man naked?
You like to hang around the gymnasium.
This airplane aside has been brought to you by Roger Stickbastard and the Zucker brothers.
And Peter Graves.
What a collaboration.
No, I have this thing where I think people are always talking about me.
Really?
Like I'll be in a restaurant and I'll hear like a table laughing and it'll be like, oh, they're
what's so fucking funny?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's not really fear. It's just more.
No, that's like that. Again, it's like a paranoia thing.
Yeah.
I get the feeling of like being genuinely afraid, like when I'm like doing things like coming up from the basement and I feel like something's gonna chase me up, and it's like a visceral, full body fear. I feel it.
I'm still afraid of the dark, so I have that at night. Like when I get up to pee, I always think someone's there.
Yeah,
we have bars on the doors and windows to lock them at night so nobody can like wedge their way in.
Yeah,
right.
I've never had that problem. I don't think. Really? If I'm in someplace unfamiliar, then maybe, but not in like. If I'm in a hotel, it's fine because like I know there's people everywhere. Yeah. Like nothing bad's gonna happen.
Right.
if I'm sleeping in an unfamiliar house, I'll have that problem sometimes. But as far as like day-to-day fears, I don't know. Every time I think of something, I always kind of bring myself out of it by saying, "No, statistically, it's not going to happen."
Right.
You know.
See, that blows my mind because I can't talk myself out of stuff like that.
Me either. Yeah.
Yeah, like whatever it is I'm afraid of, it doesn't matter how unrealistic it is.
And you know it. Like you recognize that it's insane and crazy and stupid.
Yeah.
It feels super real anyway.
The big one that I always go to, it's not even an everyday fear, is just like any fucking scenario involving getting lost in space.
Oh yeah,
that nightmare sequence from Apollo 13, for instance. Yeah, the entirety of Gravity.
I was gonna say I still haven't seen Gravity. All I know about it is that flying off into space alone shot,
right?
Which apparently is just like the darkest, deepest terror.
Yeah. Fuck every part of that. Fucking you ever see Event Horizon?
Mm-hmm.
No.
There's a part involving an airlock that I'm not gonna spoil for you.
Oh my
but
God.
it's pretty gnarly.
That's an upsetting thought to me, is being in an airlock and then just the outside getting open and just
Yeah.
Well, speaking of space,
Great movie, though.
Speaking of space movies that terrify me,
Yeah.
there's almost no movie I think that fills me with a sense of impending dread, quite like 2001: A Space Odyssey does.
Yeah.
perfectly crafted to do exactly that to you.
Yeah, like most Kubrick movies, I think a very different movie in the beginning than it is in the end.
Yeah.
It's done in two distinct parts.
That movie, more than any other movie, ends very differently.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it does. I like the ending though. I think
I like it too. It's just like it comes out of left
it's
field.
way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It's way ahead of its time. But yeah, it's like that whole second half of that. They set it up so well in the beginning because it's nice and everything's nice and peaceful and very robotic and then the second part of that movie it just goes nuts.
The really sad thing to me is that movies like this not don't get made, but are so much harder to get made now.
Yeah.
Because anything that bold and strange and with such specific vision gets run through the committee, and then it gets churned up and turned into something that the statistics say the audiences are going to like more.
Yeah.
Like really bold visionary work like that really has to fight to maintain itself.
I can't describe that movie any better than it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, and if you, I don't think I'm.
It oughta.
I don't think I'm spoil. Yeah, right. Especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm spoiling anything with 2001: A Space Odyssey when I reveal that like the supercomputer kind of goes rogue.
Yeah.
Hal kind of goes rogue and just starts offing the crew basically one by one meticulously. And it's just there's nothing more terrifying.
Yeah, it really is.
Than being alone in space with something that wants to kill you that has
a malignant intelligence
with all control over everything around you. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's
I think there's something similar that makes Alien work, although not with with an intelligence or whatever, or like an artificial intelligence.
Alien is so good.
There's this isolation type thing of being so far removed from any kind of safety and being
Alien is so
more so being
good.
stalked in that case, right?
Yeah, Alien, The Thing, all genuinely any of those kind of like extraterrestrial anything where you're like alone somewhere very isolated and something is after you.
Yeah.
Those tend to be the most terrifying to me.
The thing, what makes the thing so good is it's great at doing unexpected stuff without being like cheap and jump scary.
Right.
There are startling moments, sure. But it's all because of the nature of the thing that they're up against.
Yeah.
It's extreme adaptability and everything. And they really went to town with imagination wise coming up with ways that it can change. And
I think it's really worth noting too that the soundtrack of that movie doesn't do the cheap thing that so many movies do, which is like anticipate the fear and wind up the violin strings and like
there's almost no music in that movie,
right? Which is, I think, to its credit, it lets all of its fear develop naturally.
Yeah.
It's not like cued to you by music, so I'm supposed to be scared now.
Right.
The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre does that too.
Yeah.
Whereas like you see a shot of like the inside of that really creepy horror house, right?
Yeah.
And in any other modern movie, there'd be like, the crazy string section, like the whiny,
Yeah, right. In fact, I bet the remake did just that.
I'm sure it did. Yeah. I haven't watched because I refuse to.
Yeah.
But like, it's way more scary to see someone doing this horrible shit with nothing there to support you through it. The music kind of like, the score is there to guide you through the film. So if that's taken away, you're just watching this thing as though it's happening in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's anything. I'm a big fan of really subtle, low key kind of.
Yeah.
The Witch does that too. The only times that you see
movie.
music or you hear music in The Witch is when you already kind of expect what's about to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't like it lets the exposition speak for itself without any ambiance.
It's interesting how The Witch takes place just in the woods on Earth at a very specific time in history.
Yeah.
And yet it feels so remote.
Oh yeah.
And they can't be that far. They've been sent away, right? They can't be that far from human civilization, but they feel like they are forever away from any other form of life.
From everything,
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, it's both like really remote and really claustrophobic in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
It's
so
all the damn trees. I mean, you ever look at a distant tree line in the middle of the night? It's just
Oh my God, the thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when when I was younger, my mom had a lot of trees in the backyard. They took several of them, most of them down over the course of me growing up, right? But I remember there was one tree in particular. It had the knot holes in it in just such a way that it kind of resembled a face.
Yeah, well, your brain makes it a face. Yeah.
Right. And by moonlight, it was unnerving to look at.
Yeah, yeah.
And I couldn't stop either. That's the other thing is like, part of me had to look at it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, oh God.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
There's got to be a German word for that.
Like a 19-syllable German word.
Like,
the word for it is pareidolia.
You actually know that there's a word? There is a word for it?
Well, that's for the seeing of like
faces.
Figures or faces or things.
Yeah,
not just faces, but lots of things.
The construction of a meaningful image from meaningless stimuli.
Is there a word for the feeling of being afraid of something but not being able to look away from it?
I don't know.
Kind of like train wreck syndrome, or like there's got
to be a word for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Deer in headlights syndrome. I don't know.
Yeah, there's got to be something. It's like
I frequently have that thing. It's like whatever it is that's freaking me out. I'm like compelled by it. I can't get my head off of it.
Yeah.
And if it's there to look at, I can't stop looking.
There's something. It's not quite the same, but it's similar. The French call l'appel du vide, the call of the void, where you'll be at a high precipice and just think like, what if I just jumped?
What if I jumped? Right? Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think everybody has that kind of weird.
Most people do. The leading theory is that it's a kind of a self-diagnostic for the impulse center of your brain.
Yeah.
Your brain like kind of checks itself.
Before it wrecks itself.
Same sensation as like
by throwing itself off a cliff.
Yeah, right.
Same sensation as like if you've ever been sitting with someone at lunch and thinking like, what if I just reached across the table and slapped this person?
I have those thoughts all the time.
But like not because you hate them, but just to see what would happen.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the leading theory is that's your brain kind of self-checking.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. And I think a lot of people think that makes them crazy. Like a lot of people don't realize other people have that.
Yeah,
it's a normal human shit.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to think of. I had something there and I just fucking lost it.
You ever like do something like as a kid where like you ended up running away from like people chasing you and the terror of that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like I remember once when we were kids, I was hanging out at a buddy's house and the girls in the neighborhood were having a party at the house right behind his. And for some reason, all the boys decided to prank the girls or jump over the fence and scare them or whatever. One kid apparently threw bottles. That was a problem. Yeah. You can't throw glass at people.
Yeah.
But I remember after that happened, then we all like scattered and I ran past their house and hid in the bushes on the side of their house and was just like heart pounding out of my chest. I'm going to be found here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And
trouble. Yeah, the terror of being in trouble when you're young.
Be in so much trouble.
Trouble doesn't mean anything when you're older.
Right, exactly. It doesn't anymore.
Fuck
you're
you.
in trouble. You're not my dad.
Fuck off. What are you gonna do?
The guy who lived across and to the right the street from my house was a firefighter. I would me and my brother would play with his kids sometimes. Mm-hmm. You know, when we were around the same age. We still are around the same age.
We would throw him around the yard.
We're just
before he got that weird Benjamin Button syndrome. We used to play with him when he was normal, and now that he's 80.
But anyway, no, we didn't really see him too much. He was working most of the day. He was on shift. He was at the fire station most of the day, and so we would. Oh, so I went over because I wanted to see if he wanted to hang out, this kid, and I knocked on the bottom, like, you know, that thin metal part of like screen doors that they have sometimes. So I
makes the best tapping sound.
Yeah, it was
rattly
like,
noise.
Yeah, it was like locked. So I knocked on that and it popped out. Now now this kid's dad was like the nicest guy in the world, but at the time I thought he was gonna kill me, so I ran back to my house, full bore, and just hope to God nobody knew it was you. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, I was like 5 or 6 at the time probably, and I was like, Mom, I broke Mike's door.
Never mind the fact that could be fixed literally by just turning the little latch back over,
just like pop it back in there.
Right? Yeah. Done. Yeah, I think I seem to remember he got a kick out of it.
Yeah, right. Aww.
That's funny.
I have one like that. When I was like 8 or 9 years old, I had a kid who lived a couple houses down from my grandmother's house. His name was Timmy, I remember. Mm-hmm. And their family had a trampoline in the backyard.
Oh man, wasn't that the best?
It was the best. Yeah,
the kid that had the trampoline. But
oh
my God!
The thing was, Alec had a trampoline too. We used to have so much fucking fun. But the thing is, they're so fucking dangerous. They're like they're my mom would like kind of let me do it with, you know, as long as Lisa was there when I was at Alec's house and people were watching us and we weren't fucking around too hard.
Yeah.
But like at my grandma's house, they would be like, don't, you know, you really shouldn't do the trampoline, you know. Yeah. So we were playing one day and Timmy took a fucking header off of this thing. Ooh. And I mean like a fucking header, like bam, face down. Like he launched, the thing is it was in the grass.
Yeah.
But he launched so far that he launched over the grass and bam, went head first down onto the pavement in the driveway.
Jesus.
So he split his head open, and I was young, so I just panicked and I just left. Like the thing is like the right response to that, and as a logical adult now, you know, the right response to that is to go, hey,
you know, someone needs to call somebody,
right? So I just got scared and I left. So, which is like horrible, and like one of the things that I've always like felt horrible about my whole life. And he's fine. Incidentally, they took him to the hospital. He got stitched up. You know, he just had a bleeding head wound.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
But yeah, I got a fucking like sit down talk to by like my grandparents, my aunt, my mom, the neighbors that was there. It was like, hey, you know, just so you know, not cool. Like if you're right, like, you know, knock on the door, tell something, you know.
Just don't leave him for dead.
Yeah, I just bailed.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah. Hope you don't die.
Yeah,
I'm going home
later. Right. Yeah. So like, but I had this like panicky, like this sense of just panic.
Well, because what just happened is super real, and you're not ready for it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't make it right though. It's a really shitty thing to do.
Yeah. But you know, you're a kid.
Yeah.
How much can you blame yourself for leaving your friend for dead on the sidewalk, bleeding out of his head? You're just a kid.
My mom told me a story one time about like when they were really young. They were they were demolishing the plot of land across the street from their house to build like apartment complexes there.
Yeah.
And it was wintertime, and her and her friend, they were like 3-4 years old. And her and her friend were out playing back when you could like send your kids out to play and nobody would like kidnap them.
Yeah.
And she got there was a hole that got covered in snow and stuff. and she fell into it, and it was deep.
Well, like what kind of a hole?
Like they were leveling it out. I think it was the hole that they were running for like the pipes or the electricity, and she fell and she's like stuck, and you can't. It's icy and it's cold.
Oh my god!
And they're like 3 or 4, and the thing is, I think they were both not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And she's like looking up, like she's stuck down a well, right? And she's like looking up, like I can't get out, and like the girl just wasn't strong enough, obviously not strong enough to pull her up.
Yeah.
And she's telling her like, you have to go get my mom because it's fucking freezing. And the other girl was just so afraid because she's like, no, we're gonna get in trouble.
God, you know what? This is the thing. Like, how do kids get this impression?
Yeah,
that they're gonna be like toast if they like come to their parents and say someone's in real trouble.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I would. You know what the thing is? Like, if I ever have kids, it's gonna be like, listen.
Yeah.
I will forgive you if it means that someone's life will be saved.
Yes.
I will not get you in trouble. Yeah. I promise
you. Will not be in trouble with me if you let me know someone is dying.
Right. But like eventually
don't care how
like,
it happened.
was like she was down there for like 40 minutes.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and like was like had hypothermia and like got, and finally this girl ran to go get my grandma.
Yeah.
Who, they pulled her out, but like they were fucking like
that's horrible.
And then, of course, the girl was like in way more trouble because, she's like, my dad's going to be so bad. Like, well, yeah, now he is because you almost just killed somebody.
You dilly-dallied around a kid who was getting hypothermia.
Right, yeah. But she's like, she's still like, when she tells the story, it's like, because, the feeling of being trapped and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And now,
that's scary.
Yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
I don't think I've ever been that close to like it being it.
Yeah. I don't think I have either.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I can't think of a time.
Like the close, I don't know.
Having to come to grips with your own. I've had to come to grips with my own mortality.
Sure.
A couple times, but never any time that was like that
yeah.
visceral and that real,
I mean, honestly, I think the closest I ever got to being like, oh, I'm really fucked was that car accident.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think I've ever had that.
Wakes you up.
Yeah, but I've never, other than that, had a time where I'm like, nope, this is going to really get me.
Yeah.
Other than like I said, weird fears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had one time, I remember Alec and I were at the Canfield Fair.
Yeah.
Which, if you're not listening to this in Ohio, which I know there's nobody who's not, it's like the largest county fair.
Yeah. In Ohio at least, or what?
No, on like the entire eastern seaboard. It's really big.
No shit.
Yeah, it's huge. So it's like this gigantic fair, and it's just a fair, right? So bad carny rides, good food,
a bunch of riding mowers out for display for no
tractors, right? By animals. It's like the
smell
large
of feces in the air,
right? Yeah,
and deep fried Oreos,
gigantic terrorist horseflies that will kamikaze you,
sweaty, unshaved masses.
But yeah, we went and we were like 10, 11, and we went on the Ring of Fire, the big Ring of Fire. It's the giant circle loop train thing that spins you upside down. So we got on there, and this guy, we were the only ones there because it was first thing in the morning. Right on the front car, super excited. Dude latches us down. We're locked in place.
Yeah,
he goes back to the operating booth and presses the thing that lurches the car into motion, and the seats unlock.
Oh, Jesus.
And he sparks up a fat blunt and stops paying attention.
Exactly. So, like, he's just doing his thing, like, talking to one of the other carnies next to him, and the seat's loose. And we're going, oh, fuck. Hey, the seat's loose. Hey, the seat's loose. And it's gone.
No.
It goes back. And we're like, hey, the seat's loose. And then it gets to the point where we're like this.
You're like vertical.
We're like right up here, right? Like the next one is going to take us upside down.
Oh my god!
We're falling out of the seats.
Oh my god!
And we're both. I mean, like
we're still in a cage, right?
We're still in the cage,
right? But the cage could reasonably pop open because you're banging around. In the thing.
But like we're about to flip out of the seats. Like we're literally right here, and we start sliding backwards out of the seats. And it was like at that point where this thing's going, it's going to go like here next, and then it's going to go upside down.
Upside down, yeah.
So
you've reached the peak.
We hit this point where we're right up here, and we are screaming bloody murder. Oh my god! And finally, this dude stops the thing because he heard us, and he's like, "What's wrong?" And Alex like, the fucking seat's unlocked. He's like 11. It was so funny. I just remember he's like 11 years old and he's in this guy's face. He's like, the fucking seat's unlocked. We've been trying to tell you. Like, asshole.
Like, that's the worst.
And the guy like, oh shit. And he's like,
no big deal.
We're gonna have to close it down. Like, oh, good. Yeah, please.
You think?
I just remember it was that same thing. It's like, it's okay at first because we're like, okay, this guy's gonna hear us.
Yeah, sure.
Nope. And then you hit this moment of this like,
yep, like
pounding. You know what I mean?
I'm about to get my fucking marbles rattled.
I remember like we walked an next row over and just kind of like went. Oh. And he was like, I think that's enough rides for right now. It's like, I think we're done.
I'm gonna go on that weird green dragon thing that just goes in a circle.
Yeah. Please. I'm gonna go bury my sorrows in 10 hot Quaker steak wings. Yeah, it was not good.
Awful.
Super not good.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't think I have one of those moments of just pure impending terror.
No.
Thank goodness. Not everyone has to have one.
No, and hopefully I don't have one.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I would say we've been lucky for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I just think fear is like such a it's such a regular part of so many. I don't know.
I just think fear is like an emotion. It's like a thing that sometimes we feel, but sometimes we don't feel it.
It's like sometimes you feel scared. And then,
other times
you're
I'm
afraid.
not scared.
Sometimes I'm not scared, though.
Yeah.
But sometimes I am.
No, we were talking about, okay, so like I said, my buddy Jake, he's going through that thing with his dad.
Yeah, right.
I've never been more afraid in my life than, like, I got the call from my stepmom.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm at work. I think the first time she called me, and it's like, am I going to have to get on a plane tonight? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Number one, this is happening. Number two, this is happening
right now,
1,500 miles away.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, you feel powerless.
Yeah, it's this whole total thing of like powerlessness, where like I ended up going home and I'm just pacing, waiting for the call that says, you need to come here right now. We need to get you on a flight right now.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
Right.
It just wakes you up. It scares the shit out of you.
Totally.
And then it was like, okay, it's not that night, but like, we're going to keep you posted. Just be by the phone and be ready. And like, I had to go tell my boss, like, hey,
yeah, just FYI, I might have to leave.
I might have to
moment.
leave like now. Yeah. Like at any time, I might not be able to tell you I have to go, and I'll just be out the door. So
yeah.
Be aware. Which is like, yeah, it was just like several weeks of on and off, touch and go kind of hell, and it just sucks.
I remember when that happened.
Yeah.
I remember we were hanging out at your old apartment back then.
Yeah.
And I remember occasionally you getting a phone call and just like like everything's stopping and like, please tell me this is good news.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, it scares the shit out of you.
Right.
It wasn't until I heard his voice, you know what I mean? Because I was getting it secondhand from Bethany, my stepmom, and my Aunt Diane. And then finally, it was like he called me after, because he didn't want to talk to anybody. typical guy thing. You don't want to talk to anybody. Sure. I don't want anybody to hear me like this. And,
right.
Such and such, right? Yeah. But it got to the point where it was like 2 weeks later, or like a week and a half later, and he's in the hospital, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm fine." He's like, "Everything's cool. They're taking care of me. I'm fine."
Yeah.
I want to eat pizza again. You know what I mean? Like, it's like. He's like, yeah. I got to talk to him, and I was, I'm super, and he's like, by the way, don't listen to your aunt. I'm okay. It's like, you have that, like,
that's
just need to hear it from, the source.
Yeah, right.
It fucking scares the shit out of you. I don't know, man.
You guys afraid of clowns?
No.
Me neither.
I find them unnerving. I wouldn't say I'm scared. But I don't like them.
I find them irritating.
Yeah, irritating.
I find clowns very annoying.
What I think it is for me is I don't trust the insincere painted on fake smile thing. It feels like a manipulation tactic designed to get me to trust them, and I don't like it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think I do.
Like when people approach you and they're too picture
how
the scenario.
You doing? Yeah,
someone walks up to you on the street and say, "Hey, how are you?" and they're smiling. All right, what do you want from me?
Right, exactly. I agree.
What do you want? You want me to sign something? You want me to give you $1? What do you want from me?
Right.
Like, clowns are the same thing. It's like, don't smile at me. I don't know you.
You're right. I agree. Maybe that's our Rust Belt sensibilities coming out.
Almost definitely.
Yeah. No, I'm not afraid of them. Trisha is deathly afraid of clowns. Hates clowns.
Coulrophobia.
Yeah, it's a weird. The thing is, like, my grandpa was a magician, right? So, like, that was his hobby. He was like super into doing magic. He was part of the Magicians Brotherhood. There's a union for magicians.
Yeah,
the Brotherhood, International Brotherhood of Magicians.
It seems so dorky.
It is dorky, but I got to see so many cool magic tricks.
I bet.
Like, I got to meet a bunch of famous magicians, like older famous magicians. But like, it's super cool, right? Yeah,
that is awesome. Especially as a kid.
Yeah. He built his own tricks, and you know what? My grandpa made his own magic tricks. Fucking rad, right?
How is this the first time you've ever told me?
Have I never told you that?
We've been friends for
I don't think I've
like
ever
a
known
decade.
this.
That's what he left me. And when he died, that's what he left me was all his magic stuff. Oh, I'm getting choked up. I'm sorry. He left me all that stuff. I got to and I did magic shows when I was younger for like the churches and stuff.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I learned how to make. I know how. Incidentally, ladies, I know how to make balloon animals. No big deal, and I'm really good at it. I'm out of practice, but I'm really good at making balloon animals.
It's funny you mentioned this. My grandfather was a clown.
Really?
No.
But I said that to bring up the point. Like, I was around, like, we would do magic shows and there were always clowns around. So
yeah, right.
Maybe it was just when I was like little. They didn't like scare me or even really freak me out. So I was just used to seeing them. There were always kids who were like terrified of clowns whenever we would do the shows. But I was always the one who would volunteer to go get picked on by the clown when they would do the, I knew those guys, so it wasn't like
I just don't like it.
Yeah,
I think it seems disingenuous. Like, I know it's designed to entertain me, but it feels like a trick.
Yeah. I just think they're annoying. I think they get up in your personal space, and I think they
spray you in the face with that stupid flour.
They don't shut up.
They throw bowling pins all over the place like they own the place.
Yeah, I just
assholes.
They get on my nerves.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not my thing.
Yeah, not my forte. Not my Kia Forte.
Yeah, you know what? So I guess we've about done it. It's about time for us to take a break here.
I gotta rock a hot piss.
Gotta rock a hot piss. So we'll take a
before we do that, I gotta tell you, I've been looking at your shirt all night long.
Yeah, me too.
What the fuck is going on there?
So
sorry, I have to bring it up.
Yeah, okay, so this is there's a YouTuber that wears this shirt all the time. So Christy and I were watching a series. The guy's name is Shane Dawson.
Right?
Yeah, so he did a series on Jake Paul, which we found very interesting because Jake Paul is such a notorious piece of shit. So we watched this like 7-part series or whatever. And Shane wears this shirt in like every single episode. It's like something one of his friends designed for him.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it going, I want that shirt.
It's fucking awesome.
It's just a picture of a pig and it just says, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, behind the pig over and over again.
it's fucking awesome.
It's so weird, but I was looking at it going, I want that shirt. And she surreptitiously orders this shirt in front of me. Which made me really, really happy.
It's so cool.
Just like everything else, all the cool shit I own, my girlfriend bought it for me.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just had to address that because I've been looking at it all night. Like,
it's super weird, right?
It's so weird that I love it.
I'm breaking it in a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll take a break. You can take your piss.
Yeah.
And we will be back in a minute with our recommendations and smoking and drinking.
Yeah, there we go. He's on the bandwagon. Yeah. The Life, Music, and Terror of Bloodcurdlin Shriekin Jay Hawkins, Part 1.
In the mid-50s, one man revolutionized jazz and blues. For the benefit of all music, he came out of the Deep South, United States. Bloodcurdlin Shriekin Jay Hawkins, a legacy, a life, a larynx. This is his story.
We all know that old Dre could play them blues. What a lot of people didn't know about his first love, competitive miming.
On tonight's episode, we interview legends, producers, and musicians who knew and befriended Bloodcurdlin Shriekin Jay Hawkins on his career to the top.
He painted his face all up and head on down. Don't nobody know what he was doing, but Oh, he could do all the old moves. Pretend he's in a box, climbing up a ladder. I mean, that's about it.
Bloodcurdlin Shriekin Jay Hawkins was born deep in a coal mine in Montgomery, Alabama. Emerging so coated in ash, everyone believed he was a black boy.
Now, the thing you need to understand about Jay Hawkins, in order to understand Jay Hawkins, is that being born in a coal mine is a terrible way to enter the world. There's darkness, dank, smells, wicked smells. There's deep in the belly of the earth ain't no light, ain't nothing. You crawl out of a hole in the earth with a mean fire in your belly. A fire, a burning fire. Jay Hawkins was a man of deep passion, hunger, and occasional diarrhea. He was a close personal friend.
The fragile human mind, being born in the depths of the earth, develops a number of intense fears.
It's a hideous thing to be born deep in the belly of the earth. I remember Jay telling me many years later that it gave him a deep fear, hatred of all things earth, like woods, caves, and lakes. Fear of the moon, raccoons, snakes, wind, paralyzing fear of dandelions, okra, beans, wheat. Couldn't put a worm on a hook. Afraid of snow, smells, afraid of his own fingernails, deeply terrified of death and screwdrivers. Ronald McDonald, bad breath, lawnmowers, scissors, safety scissors, and Elmer's glue, meatballs, wire mesh, sunshine, midnight, 2 p.m.
Bloodcurdlin Shriekin Jay Hawkins, a legacy, a life, a larynx.
Hello. Thank you, music television.
I am Bjork. You might remember me from several horrible albums, most of which were nonsensical.
All of which were made out of whale blubber.
You can buy my new album on pressed whale blubber. Exclusive release at Target.
I'm debuting on the letters VH and numeral 1. Fish piss.
My new album, Whale Farts. Coming to VH1.
I do not sing on any part of the album. It's just farting whales for 2 hours.
You might be mistaken to think you're hearing my voice, but it is whale farts.
It's a double album called Whale Farts.
I am Bjork, and this is Whale Farts.
That's how the album starts.
The opening track. Long, greasy one. From a baby beluga.
So stupid.
I love Bjork.
Yeah, just Bjork.
I really like Bjork.
You might remember me from the swan dress. Do you remember that? I
was-
know it's a way far back in pop culture.
It has now been replaced by so many other useless memories. But perhaps you remember my swan dress.
Do you remember when oh no, I didn't rip the Pope though. That was
That
Sinead
wasn't me.
I just remember that was Sinead O'Connor, not me.
I just got myself confused with Sinead O'Connor.
I could do Bjork all fucking day.
We know nothing about Iceland.
We know it's so obvious.
Yeah, right.
I don't know
that
anything
there
about
is
Bjork.
A great amount of snow and little elves.
So
Yeah, all right. Sorry.
Land is made of ice. I'm sorry. Okay.
I can do that fucking all day. It's too much fun.
Okay.
We're back, apparently.
We've been doing that for way too long.
Whale farts.
All right. We are back. It is time for recommendation stuff.
yeah.
Who wants to go for it? I'll just leave it up to you guys.
I'm still trying to think of something.
Okay, that's cool. Then, Ben, why don't you go?
God damn it.
No, Chris, you got something for us?
Yeah, I'm going to recommend, speaking of we were talking about flying whales in Bjork's voice.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend an album by French heavy metal band Gojira.
Oh, yeah.
The album is called From Sirius to Mars. You'll recognize the album cover because there's a flying whale in front of the moon on this dull beige background.
What's it called again?
From Sirius to Mars.
Sirius to Mars.
Gojira is a super cool, super heavy, fuzzy French metal band.
Okay.
Which is fucking rad.
Yeah, that's, the whole thing sounds like it's rooted in different parts of the world, right?
Yeah, and like a lot of metal that sounds like played in that style, that real heavy, chuggy kind of growly metal. The lyrics are very like esoteric and like you have to really read into them. They're very difficult to understand unless you have context for what they're writing about. But they're all basically like super into Zen Buddhism. So a lot of their lyrics end up being about like breaking through the barriers of consciousness and awakening yourself.
That's cool.
So there's some like super cool tracks on there. One of them is called Flying Whale. So
Okay.
I've been listening to a lot of Gojira lately, and like in particular this album because I think it's my favorite for sure. I don't think it's technically the one that everybody considers the best, but it's the one that I like the
When
most.
did this come out? Do you
2004?
know? Okay.
2004, which was like a really good year for heavy metal.
Really great year for Japanese named French heavy metal.
Yeah, yes. Another album I recommended on the show was Mastodon's Leviathan, which was metal album of the year. Yeah. Which is famously the concept album about Moby Dick, which is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Super chuggy. They play everything kind of in standard D tuning. They play really weird, super simplistic kind of riffs that sound complicated but really aren't.
Yeah.
Couple tracks to listen to. Flying Whales, of course. Really soundscapey for a heavy metal song.
That's
for a heavy
interesting.
metal album.
Yeah.
There's one called The Heaviest Matter in the Universe, which sounds just as cool as you think it does. And then my favorite track on there's a track called Backbone, which is basically just about awakening to a higher consciousness.
Okay.
But it sounds really fucking cool and aggressive until you like read the lyrics that are like,
it's like, hey, we're all going to transcend space and time.
yeah, right,
And be real pissed off about it.
Well, it's like the whole song is written in a metaphor. I'll let you guys look up the lyrics later, but yeah, it's really cool. From Sirius to Mars, super cool. Gojira is awesome, and the guy I can't remember his name, just has a barky kind of growly, snarly voice.
Is it all in French?
No, they
it's
sing
not.
it in English.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Neat. Yep. Neat.
Neat.
Wow, neat.
I'll go next.
Okay.
So I mentioned this to you earlier, Ben, but I didn't mention this to you, Chris. I found a new guy on YouTube I kind of like.
Oh, okay.
He does videos that tend to be between 10 to 15 minutes, roundabouts, and they are all about different companies, which I found interesting. The channel is called Company Man.
Okay.
I watched a handful of his videos, and I really like his style, and I also really like sort of knowing the story behind some of the companies that, like, for example, I used to see and don't see anymore. Like, so he did a whole bit about the demise of Blockbuster and exactly how that happened. Or
cool.
Yeah, or like a Radio Shack, right? Like a place that, like, at one point they would ask people, "Hey, what does Radio Shack sell?" And people would be like, "I don't know." Like, how did that happen? He does several different series. One of them is like basically the demise of a company. Another one will be like this company versus this company and how that all shook out. Sometimes it'll be how did this company get so big? Like, how did this company just essentially come out of nowhere and dominate?
Yeah.
So he does a lot of really interesting stuff.
That's really cool.
It is very cool. He did one on Kmart in particular that was really interesting.
Yeah. Funny story about Radio Shack, incidentally. There are 7 or 8 left in the country.
I remember hearing that.
One of them is not that far away from here. Like, it's within a driving distance.
Is it that one in Boardman by the Red Lobster?
That one's closed. There's
Shit.
one a little farther away.
Okay.
But it's within like 30 or 40 minutes of here. It's
Yeah.
not that far away.
Radio Shack was so interesting, too, because, like, before they all shut down, what do you think of when you think of Radio Shack?
Cables.
Cables, fuses.
Right.
Yeah.
When do you think of a wall of cell phones and basically nothing else?
No.
Because that's more or less what Radio Shack turned into. I mean,
Really?
like, yeah, I mean, I remember our Radio Shack here in Austin
Yeah.
Town, where, like, the entire front of the store was tablets, phones, mobile devices.
Yeah.
That would, and he pointed this out, it would suck up the salespeople's time because they have to, you know, like, they're occupied with that customer. They're going to fill out all this.
It's super involved work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta
Phones are
sign
super
things
involved.
up and- yeah, it's a
takes
lot.
hours. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
the whole back of the store, which is historically the bread and butter of Radio Shack, is like all these like hobbyist electronics and little
Yeah,
parts
right.
and the kind of things that like people might need some assistance with, but no time to take care of that customer.
Right.
We gotta sell them a phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, phones. That's why our incidentally Best Buy's mobile department is totally separate.
Yeah.
From everything else because it takes
Yeah, you can't do anything else.
you have to specifically learn the system to do it because it takes hours to set up.
Right.
Even one line.
It's funny, you don't think about that with Radio Shack, but that's ultimately what they turned into.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's lots of other interesting stories about different companies. The Kmart one's very cool. The JCPenney one is very interesting.
Yeah.
So, Company Man, check it out. I like that guy. I like his style. He kind of rings like a lot of these other. He has a familiar style you'll recognize from a lot of other commentary channels.
Yeah.
But it's just his subject matter is companies. I think it's really cool. There's one on Best Buy I haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Because he did a series called The Rise and Fall and Rise Again.
Yeah.
And Best Buy is one he did for the Rise, Fall, Rise
Oh,
Again
I'm
series.
sure I can tell you. I was there for the fall and the rise,
Yeah.
or at least the tail end of the fall.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, yeah, within like not that long ago, they did a massive turnaround.
Yeah, Hubert Joly, who actually just recently stepped down as CEO. He's
really?
He's a CEO who is hired by companies to fix companies. That's, that's what he does, and he's very good at it. Obviously,
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah, my 401k thanks him.
Yeah, so check him out, Company Man. Good channel.
Cool.
What you got, Ben?
I want to recommend something that I've been rereading with all the context of an adult. One of my favorite pieces of 20th century revisionist history, which is Watchmen.
Penthouse Forum.
Jugs Quarterly.
Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' famous graphic novel,
Yeah.
Watchmen.
Watchmen is cool.
I still have not finished it, and I own it.
The graphic
Yeah.
novel, way better than the movie. Movie's okay.
Yeah, the movie does what it's supposed to, but there's all sorts of characterization and depth and context and really honestly just visual poetry that you can't just cram into the movie.
Right.
There really is, like, when I say visual poetry, I mean like everything in each panel is very meticulously planned out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationships between different dialogue and the panels, one panel to the next. They're very often arranged in like a 9-panel kind of checkerboard pattern where each panel plays off the last one in like a
That's cool.
again like a kind of checkerboard pattern. Great use of colors to achieve that effect as well.
Yeah.
And for anyone who hasn't read it yet, again, it's a
Yeah, give me a brief summary, because honestly, as much of this as I know about, I really don't understand what Watchmen is.
So it's the best way to explain it. Again, would probably be as a piece of revisionist historical fiction in which superheroes kind of exist. There's one person with superhuman powers. Everyone else is kind of rides this trend that started in the 30s and 40s, and as a result, things are different in the
60s and 70s.
the 1985 of Watchmen versus how things unfolded. Like one of the big things that you discover early on is that the U.S. in this universe won the Vietnam War like easily.
Yes.
Very,
Oh,
very easily.
okay.
And Nixon never left.
Nixon never left either.
That's really interesting. How about that?
Yeah, there's a lot of really neat details, but the plot kicks off when one of these people, a vigilante by the name of Rorschach, begins to piece together what he believes is a conspiracy of someone going around killing off active or retired masked heroes.
Okay. I think I remember this opens. The book opens with the comedian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the book opens with one of its main characters dead.
Yeah.
And it goes pretty crazy from there. It gets into some dark territory and like there are scenes that are definitely not for the faint of heart.
Oh, man, I gotta read this.
It's good.
It's very, very good, and I read it first when I was much younger, probably 18 or 19, I would say, and now there's so much more that's leaping out at me though. Like how the fuck did I miss all of this? There's little interstitial things between each chapter, like from fictional books and articles of the universe. But yeah, it's its own self-contained kind of thing.
Yeah.
It tells its own story very well. Again, one of the most famous graphic novels I think ever.
I would think so.
Ever
Yeah,
made.
I would think so.
You know, I only read one of his books in its entirety, and that was From Hell.
Oh,
And From Hell is very, very good.
yeah.
And the thing that I picked up from that, really, the thing that I remember about him is that I think, in contrast to, I mean, like I like, graphic novels and of all different stripes, but I feel like he does the graphic novels that to me feel the most like novels. They feel like the most developed and full stories that have some gravity behind them.
Yeah.
That might sometimes be missing from like, your ordinary superhero book.
And that's partly because Alan Moore is off his goddamn nut.
He's crazy.
He is 100% out of his fucking mind. He devotes an insane amount of detail to what he does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Killing Joke, another fantastic example.
Killing Joke is like insanely good.
It's the Batman graphic novel.
God, this is getting me hyped for the new Joker movie. Just thinking
Yeah,
about this.
I'm actually kind of excited about it too.
I can't wait for that. It looks like it's going to be incredible.
There's a long lineage of great Jokers.
Yeah.
So I really think Joaquin Phoenix is a pretty core method actor, so I think he's gonna nail that.
Yeah, like there's little things in that trailer that like just by themselves blow me away. Like the weird, like in the comedy club, he's sitting there and he does that weird laugh to himself, like and looks around to see if other people are laughing. Like the way that he portrays that, you can clearly see like he's not even sure if he understands what makes people laugh or like what makes people tick, but he's just trying to fit in. Maybe
there's something about that character that drives method acting from the people who portray it.
And sometimes not always in great ways.
Or like Mark Hamill, for example, even just his voice acting. If you've ever seen him in the recording booth doing the Joker, he's fully animated.
He puts his whole body into it.
Does he really?
Oh yeah, we'll have to pull up a video when we go upstairs. It's really cool.
He has a lot of fun with it.
He is the Joker. He sounds like what I would think the Joker sounds like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just so good. So good. But yeah.
So my recommendation is Watchmen.
I will go now, especially since the HBO show is coming on. I will go back and read the graphic novel again because it's very good.
Real quick aside before we go to what we've learned. Have you seen the trailer for the season 3 of Westworld?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Are you aware that Aaron Paul is in it?
No.
We need to watch the trailer tonight
Okay.
because I watched the thing. I hate to say this because it's part of the joy for me was what the hell am I watching this trailer?
Yeah, right.
And then at the end, the Westworld logo comes in, and I'm gonna, how in the hell is this Westworld?
Right. Yeah.
You're gonna love it. We're gonna have to watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But anyway, back to business here. Did we learn anything? I learned some things. Did you learn some things?
I learned there's an epidemic of seedy drug dealing cicadas in this country. yeah, kid, what you doing there?
I learned that those bugs fuck.
Those bugs fuck.
Those bugs definitely fuck.
Hey, kid, you want to go over here and watch us fuck?
Hey, kid, you got any Ritalin you want to sell me?
Hey, did you watch out? Watch out! I shedded my whole body there. Just be careful.
Yeah, step over that.
Yeah.
You don't want to trip on that. It's covered with my goo.
My goo.
My goo.
My goo.
Yeah, I got all this goo all over it.
I learned that Dave fantasizes about peeing sitting down.
No, not fantasizes. It's a very boring dream.
Dave fantasizes about peeing sitting down.
The best part is everyone's just talking. Like, no one acknowledges
Just
we're all naked
talking,
and peeing. Yeah. We're just sitting around talking. No one notices we're all naked and peeing.
Hey, whatever.
Why would that? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway. I learned that most of what happens in the Star Wars universe is secretly boring.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Just much like real life.
Yes.
Much of what happens in this universe is fucking boring.
Incredibly boring.
Yeah.
I wrote down Gremlin penis talks to you.
Yeah, I wrote if you're a gremlin penis, you're gonna get some pee in your mouth.
I learned that clowns are disingenuous weirdos.
Don't trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah, nor should you.
I learned we know nothing about Iceland.
No, we don't. No. You guys don't understand. We came in doing the Bjork
Tried
thing.
so hard to think of real things.
Yeah, no. We've been doing the Bjork thing for 10 minutes before that.
Right before we started recording.
Right before we recorded it. Don't know anything about Iceland.
Nope, not a thing. You would think it would have come up over all that time.
Nope.
I know that its capital is Reykjavik.
I didn't even know that.
Same.
I knew Bjork was from there, and I know it's a land made of ice.
I know it's cold.
I put down Ryobi for all your body disposal needs.
See, that's why, Alec asked me the other day, have you committed to a power tool line yet? And I said, yeah, Ryobi. Now I know why.
Yeah.
Dispose of bodies more efficiently.
Sure. Yeah. They have the battery operated saw with the laser sight on it, so you know exactly where at the knee you're cutting this person's leg off.
Separate the bone. Carve the meat.
The last thing I wrote on here is that I learned that children fear trouble above all else and will sacrifice their friends' lives to avoid it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that right.
That thing of being in trouble as a kid, you're right. It doesn't translate as an adult.
Nope.
I mean, I guess the closest is getting arrested.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, fuck it, whatever. It's like,
talk to my lawyer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I guess that does it. So thank you again for listening to the Three Dude Cast.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
What? What are you doing?
I
don't have anything smart. I have nothing of value to add to that.
So we dead air. Yeah. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Dude Cast. Thanks for listening.
Wait, quick aside.
Whoa.
I'm gonna left turn this podcast out of Endingville and into thisville.
Pit stop.
Oh yeah, this was
Yeah, I want to talk about what my topic is going to be for the next time that we get together.
I forgot. You said you wanted to give us a heads up and we could do some thinking about it.
So this is the first time I've ever revealed one, or I think any of us have.
Yeah.
But just because I want you guys to come in prepared for the argument that I'm going to make, because my topic is going to be defend a position.
Oh.
So I want you to pick a position that even you don't even necessarily have to fully commit to you don't have to fully believe the position, but I do want you to
just
got to
argue for it.
Correct. And I would like everyone to come up with one and then let the rest of the dudes know so that they may defend. So they may counterpoint your position.
Wow.
So in that spirit, I will give you the position that I am willing to defend on this podcast for the next time.
All right.
And I'm going to give you guys a generous head start on it.
Okay.
The position that I'm going to defend is that country music has the best songwriters of any genre of music ever, period, ever.
Ever.
And I'm going to defend that position the next time that we convene together and it's my topic.
Wow, that's interesting.
So like I said, not a position you necessarily have to believe fully, but you do have to defend it. It's going to be a three dudes debate. And I want to see what you guys come up with. Let us know.
Man, I'm prepared to argue with that one.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to argue with that one.
Well, I'm prepared to argue for it. So so whenever you guys know your topic that you're ready to defend, let the other parties know.
Yeah, hopefully by the end of tonight, if not tomorrow, we could come up with that.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, then we will see you next time with a very interesting argumentative episode of the Three Dude Cast. Thank you for listening as always. We will see you next week. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Later.